Hey guys, my name is João Ferreira. I'm an esports photographer, and today I'm going to show you how I usually do my pretty much every single thing at an esports event. Okay, um, so yeah, some of you might know me, some of you might not. I've been doing photography, photography for the last 10 years. I've worked with HLTV.org, the biggest CS:GO website. I've then moved to a freelance role. I've worked with BSL, Blast, and pretty much all of the known tournament organizers. I've done CS:GO, League of Legends, FGC. I think I'm only missing a Dota tournament. So yeah, I've been a lots of events in the past 10 years, almost 150 events, I think. So yeah, and I've asked in the community Discord if they want to know exactly what's my usually steps from the beginning to the end in an event. And today, that's what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so it's gonna might be a long tutorial. I would say an hour long. So um, if you have that hour, thank you so much. If you don't, you can just pause it and try to keep it during whatever time you can. So yeah, it's gonna be a long tutorial because I'm gonna try to explain every single thing that I usually do. Okay, so yeah, let's start with the main thing. um I've been booked to an event. I know already that I'm going to this event. I've arrived to this event, and day one is here. uh, let's say the event starts at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Usually they start at these times. What I usually like to do, and again, this is something, all of this, uh, this is what I do. It doesn't mean it's the correct way. It doesn't mean it's the right way. It's my way. So I totally understand that you might want to do it some things differently. You are no problem with that. But for me, it's this is my way. Okay, and this is the way I've been using for uh, the last years. So yeah. So the event starts at 10 or 11 a.m. I like to be there at least 1 hour earlier. So let's say I'm there at 9 a.m. mainly because not only you can just see everything empty and how the thing is gonna fold um, before anyone comes in, but you can just start planning in your head what you're gonna do. So obviously you want to shoot an empty arena because you can obviously have a photo with the arena empty and have a photo with the arena full if that's the case. But the main purpose are to plan in advance, shoot the arena while empty, and get a sense of what angles you wanna shoot. If you have access, or what type of of um, of ideas and angles you wanna shoot with the teams and the players. So yeah, you can just be there uh, the earliest possible, the earliest you think it might be the better for you. Be there, just set up every single thing, your laptop, your camera, your lenses, and just try to think exactly what you want to do in the first couple of hours. Like in the first 3 hours, you know already what you want to do, like which angles, which shots. You can even think. I usually do it. You can even think and plan the trophy shot, which is obviously it's gonna happen 2 or 3 days later, but you can already think where you want to be and what you want to do for that. So yeah, my first thing is be there early and prep as much as possible. If, for example, if you have the opportunity to be there at least a day early, if you are working with the tournament organizer and there's going to be reversals, go to it, because it's so much important, because you know what's going to happen, um, and you already have an idea what's going to happen when that moment arrives. I remember talking to Eric. He's a fellow US colleague. We were in Paris for Worlds. he managed to be there for the reversals. And when the opening ceremony was going on, while the rest of us were like, okay, what's gonna happen, where to shoot, what to aim. Since he was there a day earlier, he knew exactly what's going on, and he even recorded himself like a small voice, a talk small voice, so he can hear himself saying, Herrick, shoot there, Herrick, shoot there. So he knew already what to shoot and where to aim. So this is prep. This is a preparation coming in before the event even starts. He did a massive job for the that opening ceremony. But I usually try to, if I can be there for the reversals, I will be there for sure. I will never say no. If not, I will just try to be there a bit early for the opening. Okay. So yeah, everything just opens. The event starts. You get to your pretty much your corner, your bubble, let's say, for the entire for the rest of the event. I usually like to have my sort of space, because I know I'm gonna have some colleagues sitting right next to me. But try to have a decent space, because if you have lots of gear, I have two cameras, I have like 5 or 6 lenses, and pretty much every colleague uses the same or some similar lenses and stuff. So you're gonna get to a point where you don't know exactly which one is yours and which not, and which other ones are not. So try to have your space. Um, put your stuff a bit more organized, okay? So you don't lose your stuff. And that's important, because by the end of the day, you're gonna keep asking others, hey, is this yours, is this mine? I don't know, I have no idea. So yeah, keep yourself organized in your tiny bubble, tiny square. I sometimes I the space is so small, this is not possible at all. So we just have to talk to each other and see, okay, this is yours and this is mine. But yeah, if you can, and if you have the possibility, just try to be more organized. So yeah, setup is done. I'm ready to shoot. Let's go. I go to the stage, or to the venue itself. I like to be there at least half an hour, mainly to see what's happening, what's the type of lighting, what's the type of angles I can shoot, how's the crowd reacting, how's the crowd sitting, for example. So it's not something that I go there for 5 or 10 minutes, go back, edit it, and that's it. Oh, and by the way, I know some of you um, like to shoot the entire day and edit by the end of it. Um, I cannot do it. I'm sorry. Uh, I got used since ever, like, shoot it, go back, edit it, go back to shoot it, go back to edit it, and go back and forth as many times as possible throughout the entire day and event. Okay. Um, I prefer editing 100 photos, 200 photos each, and have something for my clients to use on social media, for example, throughout the entire day, and not having like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 photos sometimes, that I shot through the entire day, and then go back to the hotel, have the energy and the stamina to go through all of those photos, choose them, edit them, and put it online. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I kind of like to sleep, and for me, I think that method, I think it's more tiring than the one I use, because when you get to a CS:GO event with like four best of threes throughout the entire day, where you need to go out, go back and forth, the stage and your laptop, or like Blast, for example, where's there was three matches happening at the same time. So you don't have time to by the end of the day, you don't have time to actually go through all of those photos, edit them, rate them, and put it online. I mean, it's just so tiring because you're gonna feel so. I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. I just want to rest for the next day. Okay. So my method is just to shoot it, go back to my place, edit it as much as I can or as fast as I can. I mean, editing as fast as I can doesn't mean editing as clumsy as you can. You can be professional. I will show to you how fast you can edit it. So it doesn't mean you need to be clumsy. So edit as much as fast as you can, but at the same time as good as you can, because there might be a photo, there might be photos that media are going to use, and that's important, not just to you but for your client as well. Okay, so remember that, don't be clumsy, edit as fast as you can, as good as you can, with the quality that people know about you. Okay. Um so so yeah, I just stay there on the venue for like half an hour maybe, to see how the lightings are going, to see how the players are reacting, to see how the crowd is moving as well. So yeah, I just stay there, try to see the angles that I can shoot. If you have access, obviously, you can do more stuff, but if you don't, you have to work with that and try to think on clever ways to get the best shots possible. Like I told you before, I have two cameras. I have the Sony A7 III, and I have my old um, Canon 60. Um, I pretty much been using two main lenses for the last couple of I would say year at least. I'm mainly using the 35 1.4 and the 85 1.8. Uh, for starters, I usually recommend using the 2470 and the 7200, both 2.8, because it's like there's a mid and there's a zoom range for both. If you are just starting, you can find these lenses, both of these lenses, for like 500, 600, 700, or 800 at the most for each lens. So it's a good starting point for if you are just starting right now in terms of lenses. If you want to go deeper, you can start with the 35. There's a lot of brands, cheap brands with good quality as well. Samyang, Viltrox, Tamron. They are good brands, doing good glass, by good money as well. But mainly what I recommend is buy the 2470 and buy the 7200, because those two are going to be the main ones that you're going to use at least for the first 2 years. Uh, Mainly because if you are starting right now, you don't have a name for yourself and you want to build a name for yourself, and those two lenses will help out, because 2470 you can use it for close and mid range. 7200 you can use for mid range and long range. You're not gonna have much access during events, so, and if you do, you can use both lenses. And so by you having those two lenses, you can build a decent portfolio and obviously get hired to do more events in the future. So that's my go-to lens for someone starting right now. Um, okay, so that's it. I pretty much been there for like half an hour. I shot, let's say, 500 photos. I'm just popping up a number on my head. Also, I know that some of you, since the Sony A7 III, or and most modern and late mirrorless and DSLR cameras use dual SD card or dual C flash, whatever. Uh, I know some of you shoot for using both cards, meaning when you take a picture, the camera saves the picture on both cards. I don't do it. I should, but I don't do it. But mainly because both of my cards have different speeds, which means the buffer in each one of them, it's wait, I think my screen just died. Um, Mainly because each what I'm showing. No, I'm gonna show. No, okay, this. Sorry. Um, Mainly because both cards use the different speeds, which means the buffer when I if I use the entire buffer, what's gonna happen is since they use different speeds, it's gonna use the less buffer, which means instead of having 50 photos, 50 photos buffer, I have 30. So that's not ideal. I know I'm trying to fix it for the next couple events, but for now it's helping me. It's not being such a problem to me, so I'm using it. But uh, usually I don't use this method. I just take a photo and save it in a single card. Might be bad if you are just paranoid, and I understand about saving your work and having your work saved to a number of places. Let's say an SD card fails. Let's say, for example, you are shooting, and your SD card gets on the ground, and someone just steps on it, and you're basically just lost your work from the last half an hour. That's bad, yes. If you had a second SD card saving uh, saving the photos you took to that SD card would help. If you don't, you're screwed. Yes. Personally, I had some issues in the past with some SD card brands, mainly SanDisk. Uh, but it's something you never know. It's that might happen. You must take good care of your SD cards because otherwise they will fail to you. But yeah, if you are just paranoid, you can use both SD cards working simultaneously. If you don't have it, you just need to use one of them. And this also applies to when you are backing up or when you are shooting or importing stuff to your Lightroom. You can just prefer to do a copy, moving or adding um, uh, the photos to another SSD instead of just copying to the laptop itself. You can copy directly to an SSD, and there you go. You have another place to back your stuff. But again, I prefer backing up to my PC directly. If an event or a client is that important, I usually, by the end of the day, take all of my photos and back up to another SSD, for example. But by the end of the day, you already have the photos you took in a cloud or in a disk to deliver to your client. So because when I shoot and edit, I also upload to a cloud, so the client or the tournament organizer has access to those files. So they might want to use it for social media, for example. So that's what I usually do. So by the end of the day, even though if somehow my laptop um, gets screwed up or just I don't know, just disconnects from the world, I still have my final files on a cloud, saved on a cloud drive. Okay, um, I can tell you like since 10 years ago, the last 10 years, I've had two or three SD card issues, and I've had at least one external disk failing during an event, and that's it. I have never had like a laptop failing. I have never had anything major failing. But again, this is me. Might happen to you. I don't know. But if you are that careful with your work, save your work um, on different disks and hard drives and cloud drives. Okay. So yeah. So I've shot 500 photos. I'm back to my laptop, and now I want to edit. What's the one of the first things I've already done, but what's one of the first things I usually do? one of the first things I usually do is before going to an event, I create a new catalog on Lightroom. Lightroom is the main. This is Lightroom. Lightroom is the main tool I use to edit my photos. I know some of you might use Photoshop. I use Lightroom because I think it's faster. Um, but yeah, one of the main things I usually do beforehand, even at home before leaving to an event, is create a new laptop, a new catalog. Sorry. Um, I also know some of you use a single catalog for every single event, but since a couple of years ago, I was told this trick by Elena from ESL. I was using a single catalog for my last 40 events, and obviously my catalog and my Lightroom, they were so slow when they were importing, so slow when they were opening. So yeah, they she told me like, why don't you just use a new catalog for every single event? um, because it's not only is faster, but if you want to look for a specific file, you can just open the catalog itself and you have all the files there anyway. I understand that even if you have one catalog with all of the events and folder events organized, you can have it, sure. It's also easy to find a photo if you want, but again, it's so slow. It gets your Lightroom even slower by each event. So I've just started using a new catalog because I want things getting fast. Let's say you want to import 500 photos. The amount of time you're going to lose because you have a single catalog importing those 500 photos, it might make a difference by the end of the day, to be honest. So first thing is just create a new catalog. Go to File, New Catalog, and I usually try to put the name of the event as the name of the catalog. So let's say I'm at Worlds 2020. Okay, um, it creates a new catalog. Um, Lightroom closes, opens again with the new catalog created. Okay, so yeah. First thing is just create a new catalog, and obviously you have it's an empty catalog. You have no photos on it. You're gonna um, take your SD card, C flash card, hard disk drive into your PC and just import new stuff to your catalog. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use some of my stuff I used for the last couple events. Let's say LPCS. I want to use this. Okay, so um, this is what Lightroom creates. Lightroom creates a new folder. On this case, it creates a name LPCS Spring Group A, but the the right thing would be like Worlds 2020. There you go. You have the Lightroom folder, and this is the catalog. Every single time you want to search for something for the photo, you just open this catalog and you can search for it. Okay. This is what Lightroom does when you create a new catalog. So I'm just gonna grab some photos, some random photos from one of my last events. So let's say I want to grab, I don't know, 8 photos. Okay, and I drag the photos to the Lightroom import dialog. So again, you can just copy, move, or add these photos to a different place. Let's say if you're having an SD card and you want to add those photos to the to your PC. So you can just do it. You can move the photos from the SD card to that folder in your PC, or you can just copy them. It's I think it's pretty much the same thing when it comes to adding, but yeah. So I wanna for this purpose I wanna copy. I usually do add, but for this purpose I wanna use copy. So um, first thing first, I wanna do build previews minimal because it's faster in terms of importing and exporting stuff and browsing through through the photos. And the most important thing, I want to rename files. Okay, I want to rename my files because having, let's say, I'm gonna give you a small example. Let me just do it something very quick. I'm gonna um, put my SD card into a SD card reader, and there it is. So this is my SD card. Usually it looks like this. So usually my files look named, they are named like this. You can change the file name in your camera, obviously, that's it, no problem. But I prefer doing it on post. So obviously with this, you don't have really much information on what's going on. Okay, you know the file name, Gucci, good, no problem. You know the date, yes, but for example, you don't know the name of the event, and you don't know if you are, for example, editing photos from another person. You don't know also um, who took these photos. Okay, so what I usually like to do is, and this is again one of the things I've learned with Elena in the past couple of years, is to rename my files. Okay, so I just want to click rename files and go to edit. You might have like file name, date, but I just use a custom, let's say, file name. So I want the date, so the date is here. I want my name on it. Let's say, if you don't want it, sure, but I want my name on it, and I want the name of the event. Let's say I'm doing Worlds 2020, and that's it. And lastly, I want the file name of the photo. So what this does is it's going to import to that new location the photos you took um, with these file name. Okay, so you know already which event and which um, person took the shots, and obviously which date and which file name. Okay, so I'm done. Let's see. Also, one thing important is I usually save my photos to the same catalog folder. Why? Because having different folders might be a bit confusing, because in the future, if you want to search for a photo, you have to look through the catalog, all a different folder, and then go back to a different folder and search for that photo. So I like just to have every single thing on the same folder, because by the end of the event, what I do is copy my catalog folder and put it on a backup server. This is my backup, let's say, server. I have all of the events I've done in the past. Everything is here, as you can see. Uh, Everything is pretty much organized by year, so I know in advance if someone wants a photo from, let's say, ECS finals 2019. I have it here. I know exactly which they want. I know exactly where to look for, high resolution, finals, etc. Okay, this is the way I usually do it. So I put all of my import photos into the same catalog folder. Okay, so yeah, so it just creates a folder saying 2020 and the day, obviously, that the photos were taken. Okay, not mind the date. I know the date is wrong. It's something I haven't bothered fixing it. So yeah. So this is this is pretty much it. All of my imported folders are here. Okay. Um, and now what I usually do is start the actual editing. There's nothing else I usually do in terms of setting up. Everything now it's done. Basically, it's pretty much editing everything. Now, first the first step for me for when it comes to editing is, if I have 200 photos, obviously I'm not gonna edit every single one of them. I'm not gonna edit 200 photos. What I usually do is I need to choose the best ones from those 200. I have like a 10% ratio when it comes to do selects. It's called selects. So from those 200, I pretty much choose around 20. Okay. And how do I choose 20 photos? I'm not saying it should be a fixed number, but it's usually my ratio. So how do I choose photos? So I have, let's say, right now I have 8 photos. I'm gonna see, okay, this is a nice photo. Uh, this one might be better because he's kind of looking at me. Uh, Meh, not cool. It's cool. Also cool. Meh, whatever. Or cool, and also cool. So yeah, I have got 8 photos, and I want to choose the best ones to edit it. So this one, nope. This one I want. So what I do is your laptop or your PC, they have either they have the numpad or they have the numbers on the top of the letters. So if you press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what Lightroom does is it rates the photos, which means you can tell Lightroom which photos you want them to be rated for. I mean, for example, this photo might be a 5 to you, and this photo might be 1. Okay, so you can just tell them, you can just tell Lightroom, okay, now I want all the photos. Wait, what am I missing here? Okay, wait, what filter? Ah, sorry. I was like, what the fuck? There's something missing here. Okay. Now I can tell Lightroom exactly what photos I want. So let's say I only want the photos that they are rated 5. So let's say these two. And if I go to filter, usually this is on by default. I'm not sure why it was off. I was like, was confused. So if you go to filter, you have the stars here. Uh, if you press the 5-star rating, only those two photos will appear. So you have 200 photos. You go through all of those 200, and you choose and you rate the photos you want to use. I usually don't rate them 5. I only just rate them 1. So 1, I don't like this one. I like this one. Yeah, sure. No, no, sure, sure. So um, and I now just press the 1-star rating, and all of the 5 photos that I rated will be there. Okay, and this is so much faster. And I know some people, they, instead of doing this, they just reject the photos. There's an option in Lightroom. If you press let's say if you press X, the letter X, it says rejected, and the photo looks like blurred out. X again, okay, whatever, also X, and that's it. And then you go to photo, delete rejected photos, and what this does is it just deletes the photos from your disk, not from you can use it um, removing from the catalog itself, but usually it just does it from the disk. I don't do this mainly because of one thing. Let's say I kind of like, let's say I might want to use some of these photos in the near future. Let's say I'm I'm still rating all the photos, and I just reject this photo and I delete it. But that photo was kind of better than the one I chose. So since I already deleted the other photo, I can't have it back. So I don't do rejects. I just do rating, and this is something Please, I'm sure it will help you because it saves you a ton of time, literally a ton of time. Okay. Um, so yeah, I've just rate the photos, press whatever star you rate it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. Just rate the photos, and then I can start editing. Now I know some of you just do like they start with the basic editings. Okay, the shadows. I can use just some decent color correction and clarity, texture, blah blah. Some stuff, kind of basic stuff. Okay, some very basic stuff. That's it. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I like this editing. It's done, and now um, I move to the second photo, and you might think, okay, I have to do everything all over again. No. First of all, um, you can start with the basics. This is the basic. This is your base. If you don't have any previous color correction from previous events, if you don't use presets at all, you obviously start with the basics. Um, and for this purpose, these are my basics. Um, Now I want to use these very basics to the next photo. You can use a thing called presets. Presets help you using the very same basics or the very same settings to the next photos. So you just, I want to use this preset. Um, I just go to develop, new preset, Lightroom tutorial, whatever. Um, you can already go and click create. I just do a minor change. I don't like to use the same white balance in every single photo, so I just take it off. And now I just do create, and that's it. It goes to the this user presets section or category that Lightroom creates inside the presets thing, and here you have it. Okay, now you have your own preset. So now for the next photo, instead of doing the same thing all over again, blah 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 blah, you'll lose time doing this. Instead of doing this, you can just either click the preset and voila, everything is there. And now the photo seems a bit dark. You can just increase the shadows a bit. You can just increase the brightening, and you're done. So you just made some small tweaks to the photo itself without wasting so much time. You can also do something different. If you don't want to use presets, you can just go to the first basic stuff or basic changes you've made. Um, click on the photo. Click on the next photo you want to edit it. In this case, my third photo, and just click previous. What this does is Lightroom copies the entire settings from the previous photo to the new photo. Okay, so 7.71 exposure, 0.71 exposure. So Lightroom just copies every single setting from the previous photo to the new photo. If you use, for example, minor corrections on this one, which we did, um, and if you go to the next photo, previous, and it copies the same settings again. And this works not only for the next photo, in this case the fourth one. Let's say if you have um, uh, 20 photos, you can just use the first photo as a base, as a basics. Go to the last photo, in this case my fifth, press previous, and that's it, and you're done, and you're pretty much done in terms of editing if you want. So you see, instead of editing all the photos one by one, which is very time consuming, you can just either create a new preset from the scratch, and apply it to to the next photos if you want without losing so much time. Obviously, some photos are not all the photos are equal. Some photos are different, obviously. So on this one, for example, I don't want to use so much highlighting. I just go back, not so much shadows, and that's it. You can just always tweak each photo. You will always tweak each photo one by one, but again, the time you lose on those photos is much less than just editing the photos from the scratch one by one. Okay, let's say if you have presets from a previous event. What I usually do is, so I let's say I'm gonna use I have these presets from the E-League Major that I've created a long time ago. And this preset is kind of like a a decent way to start. It's not perfect, but it's a decent way to start when creating a new preset. So obviously this one doesn't really work. I'm, I'm just gonna see if there's anything else that might work for me. There's this one from my colleague Marco. No, no, not this one as well. Okay, I don't really have anything here because I don't really use my desktop to edit it. But let's say I want to use this one, the João V4. So João V4 is decent. But by the way, if you want to see how what's the before and after, you just press the slash, I think it's slash, the key before the one in your keyboard. But I think you can also do I don't recall which is the exact. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is the before, this is after. You can just use it if you want. Okay. Okay, but if you press the slash key, it might just be easier. So this one is kind of close, decent. Minor few adjustments. I want to just do some uh, shadowing, contrast. Might use some more um, blue on the white balance, increasing the highlights. I think it's a bit orangish, so I just take off not this one, the saturation one. Okay, okay, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else I usually do. A bit more sharpness if you want. Take noise reduction so the noise on the photo doesn't look that aggressive, and that's it. Uh, so yeah, I've used a previous preset that I had from long time ago. I think it was close to the ones I wanted to use in this occasion, and I just pretty much tweaked a few things, and that's it. So you don't have to waste time on creating a new preset every single time. If you have other presets from other events, try to use it, see if it works for you. If not, just create a basic one. Okay. So yeah, you can just also apply this thing to every single photo in one single click. Just select all the photos, and then just click sync. It will just do every single thing, and there you go. Done. Done, I think. Hello? No? Doesn't seem to be synced. It's not synced. What? What have you done, Lightroom? Okay, white balance. Everything is synced. Synchronize. Lightroom? Why don't you sync? I don't get it. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Whatever. But yeah, I usually don't do this because it's again, every single photo has their own types of tweaks. So yeah, I usually don't select all the photos and do sync. I just go one by one and use the previous one. Um, might be easier for everyone else. Okay, so yeah, so I think my photos are somehow decent to be exported. Obviously, not these ones, but in a normal, regular way, the photos are just done. They are edited and they are now ready to be exported. So I just choose every photo. You can just press Control A or Command A, I think, in on the Mac, and just go to File, Export. Okay, now there's a few things you might want to change and try to do before actually clicking export. You want to put the export folder path. Um, Usually, I create a folder inside of the day after import. This might sound confusing, but I'm going to show it to you. So my catalog folder is Worlds 2020. Uh, I go to 2020 again. I go to the day, and now I create a folder uh, with the name Finals. Finals. So this is where my final photos will be. Okay. If you want to be a bit more organized, you can just put it inside of another folder, um, and then you can just Control A every single photo from inside of that every single photo inside of that folder and upload it to your cloud drive, for example. I've been doing this at least starting this year because I think, for example, when you let's say you have a folder full of photos. I'm gonna show to you. Madrid, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I have what Lightroom does is it exports all the photos into these finals photos. Yeah. Um, but now let's say you exported 100 photos, and the next time you go to import 50. What Windows does is if you have it like already like this, all selected to upload to your cloud drive or to your server, whatever. What Windows does is if you export the next photos, you will not know exactly which photos they are, which photos are the new ones. Okay, so for example, I want only these ones to upload, and technically these are the new ones. But if you have it like this, you will not know which ones are the new ones. You have to go back to Lightroom, see what's the first photo, and then search for it on your Windows folder. And if you have the lucky for your file name to be 999 or 9, let's say, to be at the end of the file name number, if you have the lucky to go to 0000 again, you will have these photos plus the one starting here, because Windows obviously puts the file names according to a specific order. So again, it's kind of complicated. So what I started doing is put it on a export on a different subfolder. Um, what it does is, let me see if I still have it here. Group A. No, no. What it does is it creates a new folder. All the photos are going to this folder, and then I just Control A and put it on the final ones. Actually, I'm sorry. There it is. Wait, what did I do? Okay, I want to delete this one. Okay. So inside my finals, there's the folder. Inside of this folder, there's my last photos. And what I do is I just Control A. Uh, in this case, I move the photos to the final ones, and that's it. So now I know exactly which photos I'm uploading. I'm uploading these ones. I drag them, it's done. When it's uploaded, I just move them to a new folder, to the finals folder, and that's it. So I know exactly each time which photos I've already uploaded and which I didn't. Okay, so subfolder, yes or no, whatever it fits you. No renaming because we have done it already. Um, you can use what I usually do is also something I've learned with Elena from ESL and Adele and Bart. Um, if the images are mainly for social media, for example, instead of every single file having like 10, uh, 20 megabytes in terms of file size, if you use a specific um, file size and screen resolution for the photos, it will be much less and much easier to upload to the social media. I'm going to give you a small example. While the high resolutions, they are 18 megabytes, um, the ones for the social media are around 2, I believe, 2 or 3. Let's see. Yeah, 2.63, let's say. It's 3 megabytes versus 20. So in terms of uploading, not only uploads faster because you have less file size, even though it's the same photos, you have less file size. But if a sponsor, a team, a tournament organizer wants to download that photo to Instagram through a phone, for example, it's much quicker and much easier to that person. So you might just want to do it. So what I usually do is resize to fit, long edge, and I choose 2048 pixels. It's a decent resolution on a decent file size, and yeah. No sharpen, all metadata. If you want to include watermark, if your tournament organizer, team, or player wants to do it, you can do so. Um, it's very easy. What Lightroom does is it puts a small watermark in all of the photos automatically, so you don't have to use it on posts using Photoshop, for example. Um, so yeah, just click exports. I think I'm gonna do it like normal thing, Joao, right? Joao, and that's it. I usually do like uh, three three, so it's not it's not on the actual corner. So I just do save, test, creates, and that's it. You can just I usually create like, okay, when I'm working for ESL named watermark blast CEO, for example, whatever. I just name the watermark the name of the event as well, so I know already which logo or which watermark Lightroom will use. Export and photo to your uh, destination folder. Okay. Uh, and now, where is it? Desktop, Worlds, 2020, today, and there you go, the finals. Inside of the finals, there's the subfolder. Everything is here. What I do now is go to my, let's say, Flickr, 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 SmugMug, Google Drive, whatever thing you use to um, uh, upload to your uh, tournament organizer to your client. I'm just gonna pop up my lights because it's getting a bit dark. Second. There we go. You can now see me. Um, so yeah, you can use whatever file um, management service you want. Now I just drag it. Okay. I press upload. Everything is uploading. I'm done. It's cool. It's Gucci. And now I just copy it. I mean, I can just um, right click, uh, cut, and then go to the finals, paste, and that's it. I just also use large icons so I can see the photos itself. And that's it. Everything is done. We have uploaded photos. You take your card, don't ever forget the card in your laptop. You take your card from the laptop, put it inside the camera, and just go back to shooting. And that's it. And you do this 5, 6, 10 times during the day each. The process, it's quick. Now you have the presets. Now you have the tools to make it at least more fast to you. So yeah. Um, the event is done. Everything is done. You're now going home. Everything was super nice. You have like, let's say, 100 gigabytes of footage. What I usually do is I don't back up the photos I didn't rate. I know some people do. Uh, I don't, because also, again, I think I might be a bit weird to say this, but some of these last things I've learned from Lena, Adela, Bart, um, while doing kind of I think it was last year. I think last year or 2 years ago. Last year, yeah. Um, some of these tricks, they were the ones telling me to do it, because I was so into my own thing. Um, but they told me, dude, this is the fastest way. You gotta do it. You gotta follow it. And I've been following it. I've been telling other people to do it as well. But some of these tricks are just really good in terms of helping you in terms of not only file managing, photo control, but also to backup. And this last trick, let's say, is I don't back up my uh, non-rated photos. Why? If if I have a client, and the client already has a photo, and he asks me, "Hey, do you have another photo from this player?" Um, I might have taken that photo, yes, um, but uh, for some reason, if I felt that that another photo wasn't really good to give to the client won't have it. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna make a small. Let's say these two photos, for example, they are very similar. They are literally very similar. But I think this one fits better because not only the player is looking at me, but the brands, the environment, the the whole of the photo. I think it's framed better than the other one. So if the client asks me, "Hey, do you have another photo like this?" I will say no, because this first photo will be deleted. And how I will delete it? Lightroom has a very cool feature as well, which is you can delete photos that you don't use or rated inside Lightroom. So here you have the photos you have rated, and they are fine. If you press the filter again, it will show to you which ones uh, they are rated. Sure. What I usually do is, so I want all the photos that they are not um, rated. Okay. Um, and the best thing to do is just go to the this signal, which tells you that you can rate uh, according to these options. I'm sorry, according to these options. What I usually do is rating is equal to. So since my non-rated photos are exactly non-rated, they have zero rating. Uh, this tells me that I have not used these photos, so I can just delete them if I want. Um, but and if you click to the 1 star or 2 star, whatever star you chose, you can see that it tells you exactly the photos that you used previously. So, um, so even at some times, like for example, I have some photos that I thought they would be cool, for example, because they were they were edited. At some point, they were edited. Um, but in a in another time, I felt like, okay, so this photo, even though it's cool, I have a better photo, and I'm not gonna use it. But I've actually edited, so it's there, it's still edited, but it's not rated. What I usually do is, um, okay, so these are the photos non-rated, but I can tell Lightroom, like, please tell me which photos that are not rated, but they still have edits, and this is the one that does. Okay, so if you want to play safe, for example, um, I'm gonna put this photo completely uh, reset. Okay, okay, I'm back to it. So if you want to be safe, you just do it like, okay, tell me which photos are not rated and have no edits at all. Okay, um, and this, sorry, this is the one. I'm sorry. So this is the photos that have no rating and have no any type of editing at all. No changes, no nothing. Okay, so I choose them, Control A, or just press the first one and the last one and click it again. Remove photos. It will ask you, do you want to delete the photos from the disk or from the catalog? Your call. I usually do it from the disk because it saves space, but it also deletes from the catalog itself. So if you press delete from disk, it deletes the photo from your disk, from your folder, and from the catalog. If you press remove only, it will it will just remove uh, from the catalog, I believe. Okay, so I just press delete from disk. That's it. Everything is done. And now I just have the rated photos. Okay, I'm gonna show to you on a very specific way. Let me just open another uh, another catalog. Let's say I want to use this catalog. Yes, let's relaunch it. So it's now opening a catalog from an event I've did. I think it was last week. So if I go to tell me, okay, if I go to again rating, tell me which ones have the rating. Okay, Lightroom tells me. Now tell me which ones don't have any rating. So you see, I have nothing. I have pretty much saved, backed up all the photos that have rating. So I think this was a two-day event. Yeah, 2-day event, and it has almost 500 photos. It's decent, let's say. Not too many matches. I think it was only 4 matches or so. But yeah. But as you can see, all of my photos are here. Um, and I don't really need to do anything else because all of my backup uh, contains the photos I've um, delivered to my client. So if the client wants a photo that I've sent to them previously, I can just go here and export it again if I want it. Okay, guys, uh, it's been long, like an hour long. Yeah. Um, I think I've covered pretty much every single step one in this small tutorial. This is what I've been doing for the last years, for the last couple of years. Um, I've seen and I've worked with people that don't usually do some of this stuff. Frankie, I'm looking at you, Frankie. Um, but as you can see, it saves you so much time. It helps you as a photographer because it's not the how much photos you deliver to a client. It's the quality of the photos you deliver to a client. But if you can have as much as good photos in terms of quantity and quality, that's a good thing. So it this I hope this tips, let's say, and this video helps you in terms of how to work it, what's the workflow, uh, the file naming, because I'm sure that it will help you some way into your photographer career. Okay, thank you so much once again. Don't forget to follow me on my social media on Twitter, for example. I'm kind of usually active there, also on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for this hour long. I hope to catch you on a event maybe or next time. And again, thank you and goodbye. See ya.